The life and sad ending of Johnny Lewis. Jonathan Kedrink Lewis was born on October 29th, 1983, in Los Angeles' neighborhoods of North Hollywood and Sherman Oaks. He was the middle child of Michael and Devonna Lewis. His parents were practicing Scientologists, and Johnny himself was a Scientologist most of his life. Johnny began performing from the age of 5 at a small performing arts school, making his debut as a Hanukkah candle. After finishing school, he left home at the age of 18 to pursue an acting career. Lewis began making television appearances while in his late teens, with guest starring roles in Boston Public in 2000, The Guardian in 2001, and American Dreams in 2002, among others. His debut feature film performance premiered in 2004 in New Line Cinema's Raise Your Voice, and he followed that up with Miramax Films' Underclassmen in 2005. He co-starred as Pierce Chase, one of the 5 siblings of the Fox series Quintuplets, and appeared in the movie Raise Your Voice in 2004 alongside Hilary Duff. He guest starred in 4 episodes of Nickelodeon television series Drake and Josh as Scotty, one of Drake's bandmates, and from 2005 to 2006, he played Dennis Childress on the OC. Lewis also had a guest spot in the 3rd episode of Smallville Season 5. He also starred in the film Magic Valley in 2011, which premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. Lewis was well known for his role as prospect biker Kip Half-Sack Epps in the first 2 seasons of the FX original series Sons of Anarchy. In personal life, Lewis dated American singer Katy Perry from 2005 to 2006. In mid-2009, Lewis learned that he and his teenage girlfriend, actress Diana Gaeta, were expecting a baby. The couple had split up April 6, 2010, when the couple's daughter, Kula May, was born, but briefly attempted sharing a residence. Lewis eventually moved out, after which the couple engaged in a long and painful custody battle that Lewis ultimately lost. In late October 2011, he suffered head injuries from a motorcycle accident. Immediately thereafter, his thinking and behavior took a serious turn for the worse. He was arrested on January 3, 2012, for allegedly trespassing at a neighbor's home. He was beaten violently in the head approximately 17 times before police arrived, causing further injuries. In jail, following additional head injuries, he was diagnosed the prison medics as suffering an internal bleeding in the brain. Despite the diagnosis of traumatic brain injury and despite never testing positive for drugs, that year he was treated for psychosis and chemical dependency. On September 26, 2012, Lewis and his 81-year-old landlady, Catherine Davis, were found dead at Davis's home. Davis was known in Hollywood for operating the Writers' Villa, a bed and breakfast for up-and-coming performers, directors, and writers in her home. Lewis, who had previously lived there in 2009, had recently moved back in. Police were called by neighbors after Lewis violently attacked 2 people in the property next door, and Davis was heard screaming. Upon arriving, officers from the Los Angeles Police Department, the LAPD, found Lewis's body on the home's driveway. Davis was found dead inside the house, having suffered severe head injuries. Davis's death was investigated as a homicide, and it was later determined that Lewis had killed Davis by manual strangulation and blunt force trauma to her head, and also killed her cat. Lewis's history of untreated head trauma led to the development of psychological disorders, which led to a sudden spurt of violence. There was no indication that Lewis had been pushed or that he had jumped off the roof in an act of suicide. His death was ruled accidental. He was 28 years old. He was cremated and his ashes were spread all over the coast of San Diego, California.